10 signs that show you do not have class. Being classy isn't about money. It isn't a factor of your pedigree or your family background. It has nothing to do with how naturally endowed you are. Being classy really is about self-respect. My wonderful Elegance ladies, welcome back to another video. My name is Vivian, the founder of Woman of Elegance, which is a platform I've created to help women globally become the most elegant, classy and refined women that they can be. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to this channel. And if you are a regular here, thank you very much for supporting. You are most welcome. So without further ado, let's discuss 10 signs that show you lack class. Sign number 1, you are a shameless homewrecker. You go after married men, you're his dirty little secret. In short, a woman who dates and chases after married men has no class. Not only is she classless, but she also has low self-esteem and she doesn't see her value. And you might ask yourself, how did you get to that conclusion? Ladies, if you did have healthy self-esteem, you would know that you could easily find yourself a decent, single, unencumbered man. But because you feel you aren't worthy of that, you will rather go for a man who belongs to another woman. We really have to conclude that you do not care, you have a flagrant disregard for the marital arrangement, and you don't care about family values and the family construct. You don't care about destroying a home that has been built with fidelity and love and respect and trust. If you don't care less about whether this man is married or not and you're ready to accommodate him in your life, regardless of the fact that he's married to another woman, then you can aptly be described as a homewrecker. Forget all the lies that he's telling you, that he wished he had met you before his wife and that he's not happy in his marriage and that he loves you more. If you fall for this, for whatever reason, whether it's love or lust or money or desperation, you have just played into the trap of being used for easing off sexual tension and emotional stress and gratifying his sexual appetite and even probably trying out extreme sexual fantasies that he wouldn't want to try out on his wife out of love and respect for her. So he tells you that you're the best, better than his wife or any woman that he's ever known for that matter. You in return feel honored and may even begin to scheme on how to displace this incompetent wife and step in as the missus. You need to understand that you are the loser in this game. There's a high probability that he will never divorce his wife for you. Why? Because it's all games to him. He's the only winner here. Even if he leaves his wife for you, keep in mind that there's probably going to be another girl who's going to take over your role as a new side chick. What makes you think he will stay faithful to you if he's cheated on his ex-wife? You have no moral grounds to expect him to stay faithful to you. What goes around comes around. A man like that has no problem cheating because he knows there will always be another low value woman to toy around with. Have some self-respect and class and stay away from married men, no matter how desirable you find them or they find you. Get a job or be content with what you can afford. Live within your means and stop looking for sugar daddies to fund your lifestyle. It's selfish, it's unfair, and it does not speak well of you at all.
Close your legs to married men.
The second sign that you lack class is that you have a potty mouth. There are almost 172,000 words in the English dictionary that you could use. Are you telling me that your vocabulary is so limited that you have to resort to profanities? You may have an immaculate sense of style, be physically beautiful and have all the airs and the aura of a high-class woman, and everyone will think of you as a classy and sophisticated lady. But you see, the moment you open your mouth to talk and begin to release the expletives and the profanities that have become a regular part of your vocabulary, you mess the whole thing up. People who saw you as elegant initially will think twice immediately. Therefore, before you go running off your mouth at somebody, before those profanities roll off your lips, before you open your mouth to use those rude and offensive words, realize that you're doing yourself more harm than good by tearing your own reputation to smithereens. Consciously begin today to watch what you say and how you say it. If you're used to using offensive language, purge your vocabulary of such words. Learn to use polite words, words such as I'm sorry, please, excuse me, thank you, pardon me. This should be an everyday part of your vocabulary, and say it like you mean it. Be genuine. The third sign that shows you lack class is that you disrespect and mock others that you feel you are better than. Some women worship money, they worship fame, social statuses, and any other thing that they consider desirable. So once they see a person that they consider well-to-do, they are all over the person, seeking to shower their adoration and admiration and show the utmost respects for that person. You can recognize this type of woman from the way they behave more respectfully and loyally around celebrities and wealthy people. They treat with disrespect anyone that they feel they're better than money-wise or fame or beauty, connections or whatever. They flatter the boss and they look down on the driver. You don't want that to be you, ladies. The big shots know that you're just sucking up to them because of who they are and what they have. And the average man knows that you're just being fake and shallow. The earlier you begin to honor and respect people regardless of their social standing, this is better for you. Respecting people just because of what you can gain from them is exploitation. Check yourself, as it may even be your self-esteem that needs to be evaluated. People with low self-esteem see associating with people in the high echelons of society as a way of boosting their self-esteem. That needs to be corrected quite quickly. Sign number 4, you are loud and noisy and generally crass. Being a loudmouth is an instant turn-off, and I'm not just talking about having a loud voice, because this could be natural, hereditary maybe. I'm talking about being noisy in a noticeable and annoying way. There's just something repulsive about a raucous woman. A woman who is loud and crass lacks discretion. Such indiscretion is a sign that you lack class and tact. It is okay to be the life and soul of the party and make the atmosphere fun and lively. However, a classy woman understands how to go about this in style, tactfully, with an elegance flair. A loud woman lacks these qualities. It is not even about being an introvert or an extrovert. It's about knowing when to talk, how to talk, and what to say and when to stop talking. Babbling non-stop and saying 90 into the dozen exhausts people around you. Make no mistake about it, you are not entertaining your listeners. They're probably just wondering to themselves when you're going to stop talking. Stop with the loud, exhausting gesticulations and trying to be the center of attention. It's so exhausting. Your listeners may just keep quiet and allow you to have a field day of making a disgraceful show of yourself. Be lively, but do it with class. Talk, but then do so with tact. Laugh, but do so like a woman of high caliber and not like a deranged hyena. Okay? Everything in moderation. The 5th sign that shows you lack class is that you boast about your parents or your spouse's wealth. Unfortunately, there are many women out there that allow their successes and their wins to get to their heads. They become boastful and super proud and use their success as a yardstick to measure everything. They do not hesitate to reel out their achievements and their accolades, the cities that they've travelled to, the popular people that they've met. They do this at the slightest opportunity. And unfortunately, some women use these as parameters to define their worth. This is not classy, and people tend to do this to cover up their own emptiness and inadequacies. Are you always in the habit of reminding people how you're connected to the Prime Minister, related to the President's wife, friends of the Mayor's daughter, dropping names with the intention to impress and intimidate others into thinking you're better? This shows you have low self-esteem. You don't even know how to define your self-worth. Boasting about the type of car you drive. I just bought an Aston Martin last week. The hotels you've stayed in, your bank balance, educational qualifications, and even your marital status is evidence that you do not have class. Your relevance or your worth isn't tied to your qualifications, your possessions, or connections. So without your certificates or your money or your connections, how do you value yourself? Sign number 6, you don't dress well. You may ask yourself, Vivian, you're constantly talking about appearance, how you dress and how you put yourself together, etc. But why do you think this is? You dress how you want to be addressed. We are not God. We cannot read hearts and thoughts and intentions. The only indicator that we have in the first instance is the physical appearance. Your appearance is very important no matter what you've been told. And I'm not talking about beauty, because beauty really is subjective. I know that there are standards across the world, but it is really subjective. But what I am talking about is how you present yourself to the world. The importance of how you dress cannot be overemphasized. You are your own representative. The way you present yourself aesthetically tells people who you are, what value you place on yourself, and the extent to which you regard yourself. Dressing shabbily says that you are not classy, but nothing screams classless louder than putting all your assets on display for all eyes to feast on freely. Dress elegantly, keep it modest, and leave something to the imagination. When you dress salaciously, it signifies you hold no regard for your body and you don't mind showing everybody what you have. It's sad, but don't be surprised when people disrespect you because of the way you dress. When you dress provocatively, you actually place a label on yourself that reads you don't have class. And no matter how archaic or old-fashioned that may seem, that just holds true today. It really does. Sign number 7, you lack manners. People without class lack manners and act as if they don't really care what others think. If you lack proper manners and you make no attempts to improve yourself in this regard, then you are telling others that you lack class. You drink from the bottle and you deride people who observe correct etiquette. You make jest of social rules and joke that etiquette rules are not for you. Well, actually, the joke is on you. Whenever you go out with people and you make all these etiquette faux pas, or you just show a disregard for the etiquette within that social sphere, it just tells people that you don't respect them. When you begin to understand the importance of etiquette and how it makes our mutual interactions with other people in the society cordial and seamless, you'll become less self-centered and learn to apply the basic etiquette rules at least. Imagine sitting at an elegant dinner table with others and talking with your mouth full of food. The sight of half-masticated food in your mouth can make others lose their appetites. At an event, you can easily point out the guests who lack class just by observing their willingness to comply with social rules. Ladies, you may not know the rules at a particular dinner table, but just a quick observation around you will just show that you're willing to learn and you're willing to integrate. But when you have a disregard and think to yourself, oh, this is too old-fashioned, or why should I eat like this, or why should I use this fork or that fork, it just shows you don't have respect for the people in your midst. And we're not just talking about dining tables. Some women extend their mannerless character to their online presence. You see them engaging in keyboard wars with people they hardly know or they don't know at all on social media. You see some women calling each other out, insulting each other and calling each other unprintable names, washing their dirty linen in public, and you're foolishly providing entertainment for the drama-loving social media users. A woman who chooses to fight and settle her issues with another person under the prying eyes of social media is nothing short of classless. Point number 8, you generally give off an air of desperation. Ladies, if you can avoid giving an air of desperation, please do so at all costs. That monster called desperation has a way of making you do things, opt for choices and settle for options you would never even consider on a good day. Desperation can make a woman behave classless and cheap. Ladies, no matter what circumstance you find yourself in, try as much as possible to keep any feelings of desperation under check, as being desperate can make you appear without class. No matter how badly you want something, whether it's a job or a husband or money or a child, don't let desperation lead you into actions that could make you seem like you have no value. Actions like offering your body in return for a favor, doing wife duties when he hasn't even put a ring on your finger, really shows that you don't have class. Remember, having class is about having self-respect and showing that you value yourself and you stay true to your values. Sign number 9, you will do anything for attention, even betray your friends. Some women live for attention. They can't do without it, especially when it comes to perhaps male attention, and they'll do anything to get it. These types of women equate their beauty or their desirability to the amount of attention they command from men. When you love attention so much that you go to whatever lengths, including betraying your friends and the people that you trust to get it, it is proof that you totally have no class. Thriving on any kind of attention that comes your way without selection shows that you lack class, and you will settle for anything just as long as it's male attention, for example. Going as far as to steal or compete with your friends for their men's attention is despicably low class. Watch your actions, ladies. You do not want to be associated with women who don't have any value. If you don't respect yourself, who will? Point number 10, you don't value good hygiene. Are you pretty and gorgeously well dressed? Do you consider yourself as a woman of high caliber? How seriously do you take your body grooming? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your body hygiene efforts? Good body hygiene is one of the most important aspects of your life that you should not joke around with and you should not take shortcuts with. A lack of proper hygiene can seriously impact your health. When you practice good hygiene, it shows easily on your body, and when your body hygiene is less than desired, your body also bears witness to that. Chipped nails, bad breath, body odor, flaky skin, unkempt hair, dandruff, rotting teeth are all signs of poor body hygiene or even a lack of proper nutrition. If you have health issues that are causing these things, for example halitosis or dandruff, then of course you should try and get these checked by a medical practitioner. But if this is a case of just being lazy or you can't be bothered, then this shows a lack of class. Your health and well-being must take precedence, so try your best to practice good body hygiene. Ladies, I really do hope you enjoyed this video and it's something you'll take very, very seriously, because if you are really trying to improve yourself and live an elegant life and be the best version of yourself, then you must start from the inside. And of course, I've spoken at length in many of my videos about appearance, and you really need to curb some of the behaviors I've mentioned here if it does apply to you. Thank you very much for watching.